morning, guys. I'm on my way to Martinsville this morning to work on the job in Ridgeway where we're building a road. And we're in the last video, I was running the 850J. We're going to put stone down this morning. Going to be putting it down with the D3 and the GPS. The road's so narrow, motor grader just won't fit on it very well. It's like a 10-foot wide road, and the blade on the motor grader is 14 foot. And even when it's angled, it's still a little bit too wide. But I wanted to talk a little bit about my Ram truck this morning. We're obviously riding down the road in it, and I've had it about 3 months now, and I've put, let's see, 7,200 miles on it. 7,200 miles in 3 months. And I'll have to say, even though I am a Ford guy, I'm really liking this truck. It hadn't given me any trouble. It rides good. The seats are very comfortable, and it just, so far, I'm just real pleased with it. I hope it just continues to do as well as it's doing. In that 7,000 miles, I've filled the DEF tank up twice. I've put about 10 gallons of DEF in it. So it takes about 5 gallons every 3,500 miles, approximately. And, you know, there's just a lot of things I like about this truck. Now, I will admit, when I first got this truck, I was very skeptical of it. And I thought that maybe I'd made a bad decision about getting this truck. You know, I've been riding my old Ford's F350 for I guess 13, 14 years. It's a 2001, but I bought it used with 40,000 miles on it. And you know, I've grown very fond of that truck. It had the 7.3 diesel in it, and when you're riding or with something like that every day, you just kind of get attached to it, and it's you know, it's part of your life. And you know, I've still got that truck, and it's just been sitting a lot here lately, but when I first got this Ram and I was driving it, you know, I kind of missed my other truck, and I just wasn't sure that I'd made the right decision by getting a Ram over a Ford. You know, and it was eating on me there for a little while, and sometimes I'd even wake up in the middle of the night in like a panic, like, oh gosh, did I make the wrong decision? Did I get the wrong truck? You know, cause, you know, I didn't pay for this truck. I paid for half the Ford truck, cause I bought the Ford truck, and then once I started using it regularly for my job every day, for my construction job, I had the truck about half paid for, and my dad come to me and said, look, you use the truck for my company more than you do anything. He said, just give me the payment book and I'll take care of the rest of it. So that's what we did on that. But this truck, you know, his company paid for this truck, and you know, we had a lot of discussion about buying this truck. And my dad, he's a die-hard Chevrolet man, so that's the only thing he's going to have. You know, and he told me, he said, you better make sure that's the truck you want, because if it's not, you're going to be stuck in it. He said, this investment is going to be at least 15-year investment. You're going to have to drive this truck as long as you drove the last one, or longer. He said, much more expensive. And, you know, which which I understand that. You don't want to be throwing money away trading trucks just because you don't like a little something about it. So I want to make sure that I like this truck, but you know, it's hard to test drive something and be like, oh man, that's the best thing ever was, until, you know, you gotta drive them a while to know what you've got yourself into. But I think the moment that defined whether I really like this truck or not was when you know, I couldn't decide, you know, in my mind whether I liked it, whether I didn't like it. You know, I liked it, but you know, something didn't feel right there for a while, and I think it was just going through withdrawals of the other truck. But you know, I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about or not, but I think what it was is the door of the truck got backed into this truck. One of the guys that drives one of our service trucks got a crane body on it. He backed into the door of this truck and he mashed it in. He mashed the door in about 8 inches, and it mashed the rocker panel in about 6 inches and kind of inverted it, turned it inside out. I mean, it tore it up pretty good, right in the driver's door, and it popped the top of the door out, and air was leaking in, and it started raining the next day, and it was leaking water in the truck. Yes, this truck I'm riding in right now. So, you know, I was not very happy about that. But anyway, I took it to a body shop, and they were going to put a brand new door on it, fix the rocker panel, and everything, and all that. And they did. They did a really, really good job fixing the truck. You can't even tell anything happened to it. The door seals good. The door closes just like it did when it was new. I never had this truck new. It had 14,000 miles on it when I got it. But anyway, they fixed it back right. The only thing they done wrong, the only thing they did was they put the badge that says Ram 3500 heavy duty, they put it about 3/4 of an inch too high. It's supposed to be level. There's a Cummins badge on the fender, and then the Ram badge is on the door, and the top of the Cummins and the top of the Ram is supposed to be the same height if you look at the passenger door. And they got it too high, and it really bothered me for a little while, but now I'm just like, whatever, it don't matter. I never did say anything to them about it. I might should have, but I didn't. But anyway, the moral of the story was I had to go back to driving the while it was gone. It was gone for like a week and a half, and I had to go back to driving my Ford 7.3 every day. And I really, after driving this truck and having the automatic transmission and the four doors and the Cummins engine with the exhaust brake and a little bit more power, and even though I have a super chip on the Ford, this truck still has a little bit more power. I really started missing riding the Ram. Man, this truck drives a little better. It's easier to go around a curve. I wouldn't say it's easier to turn. The steering wheel physically is harder to turn, which I didn't know about to start with, but I actually like a little better. It gives you a little better control of the truck, having a little bit tighter steering wheel. The Ford's kind of squirrely in going around a curve. It wants, you know, you just barely move the wheel and it wants to kind of wobble in a turn. This truck is stable in a turn. It doesn't have any body roll like the Ford does. And I mean, I'm not putting the Ford down. I really love that truck. I still love that truck. I got plans for that truck to put it back to work, and of course I'm going to use it on the farm also. And I'm doing some engine work to it right now, as a matter of fact. I'm getting ready to pull all the injectors out and put new injectors in it, because it's got to where when it's cold it will not start. I've been looking on power PowerStrokeHelp.com. I actually paid for a subscription to the 7.3 diesel on PowerStroke Help. I really recommend PowerStroke Help if you are working on a Power Stroke. It don't matter which one you're working on. He's got videos on all of them. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I've diagnosed and come up with that I have some bad injectors, and we've just decided we're going to put all new injectors in it. It just will not crank when it gets cold. I don't care, unless you plug it in. You have to plug it in, it'll crank, but it doesn't crank good. It used to crank really good, all the way down to 0. I've cranked that truck when it was newer, and it would fire right up. And you know, I've put glow plugs in it. I've put glow plug relay on it. I know the glow plugs are getting power. So, you know, I didn't know what it was, or I kind of had an idea that it was injectors, but not for sure until I got in there and digging and found PowerStroke Help a while back, and actually used PowerStroke Help to help me on the 6-liter truck we've got, to put the head gaskets on it, and several other little issues we've had with that truck. But anyway, that truck is getting a dump insert on it, and I'm going to start using it to deliver firewood, or part-time to deliver firewood. And of course, the dump insert will be removable, so I can take it off, and it's still going to have the aluminum flatbed with the toolboxes. The dump insert will fit right on there with all that on it. So I'm going to use that, start using it to deliver firewood. Is what I'm going to do with it. That and the old green truck is still going to deliver some firewood. My plan is to use this dump insert. I ordered a Truckcraft dump insert. You can look at them online. They're designed to go in a regular bed pickup, like just a regular old 3/4 ton, 1 ton pickup. They'll fit right in the bed of them. But I'm going to put it on these flatbed trucks, and you know, I talked to them. They said it'll work. They've seen it done before, so that's what I'm going to do. The trailer works good until you get into a tight spot. The trailer that I pull, that I've been using for years, that's one issue with the trailer, getting in a tight spot. There's a lot of places I go, I have to back it like a long ways, just because people don't have anywhere to turn a truck and a trailer around in their driveway. And so I want to get something where I can haul the wood on the back of the truck to make everything a little more compact. But I want to be able to haul exactly the same amount of wood. My customers are accustomed to a certain amount of wood for a certain amount of money, and I want to, they like the size of my load. But anyway, that's another video. So another thing with that trailer too, it's actually a farm tractor implement. It doesn't have a title. You can't put tags on it. It doesn't have lights on it. It doesn't have, you know, I don't know that I'm really legal pulling that trailer on the road. I mean, it's technically the same difference as pulling like a round baler on the road or something, but you know, typically you're not you know, you pull the round baler to a field and use it and then take it somewhere else. But this trailer, I'm just running it constantly on the road, hauling wood on it, and I think I need to just quit. I need to quit doing that before somebody says something about it. But anyway, there's one of our gravel trucks now. He must already have 1 load of gravel there anyway. So I think I rambled on long enough. The moral of the story is, I think I got sidetracked, but the moral of the story is, I really like this Ram truck. After I had to go back to the Ford and drive it for a while, it made me realize that, hey, this Ram truck is way ahead. Not because it's necessarily a better truck, but it's just more comfortable. It's got more technology, exhaust brake, more power, drives better, and it's just it's a damn good truck. As long as it's what else can you ask for? I mean, it gets the job done. So, and I'm pleased with it, and I've been content with it ever since I had to go back and drive the 7.3 for a week and a half, and I got back in this truck. I was very glad to get back in this truck, and I'm just tickled to death with it now, and have been ever since. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of like switching women. Not that it's been a long time since I've done that, but and I don't plan on ever doing it again. But you know, at first you're like, I don't know if I made the right decision. This one may be crazier than the last one, but anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. But and anyway, I've got a really good wife. I'm blessed to have her. But anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Maybe we'll see you on a dozer.